In 1994, Brazil replaced its currency, the Cruzeiro, with new money called the real. This was part of an economic stabilization plan, designed to rid the economy of crippling hyperinflation, restore confidence in the economy, and reduce poverty. For many decades, Brazil had one of the most unequal income distributions in the world, and the lack of economic growth coupled with rampant price inflation in prices was causing widespread hardship. During the 1980s and early 1990s, Brazil's runaway inflation rate peaked at an annual rate of 2,439%, or just under 92% per month. This meant products such as eggs that cost just $1 at the start of a year would cost almost $2 just 1 month later, and a staggering $2,439 by the end of the year. Shops would have to raise their prices almost every hour of every day just to keep up. In turn, consumers would need to go to the shops with more and more cash each day simply to buy the same amount of products they did the previous day. Many would try to run ahead of shopkeepers just to avoid the latest markups in prices. More and our people were forced into poverty as a result.
Eventually, confidence was lost in the currency, in the economy as a place to invest and do business, and in the government's ability to control inflation. So in 1992, the new finance minister invited Edmar Bacha, an economist, to advise the Brazilian government. Bacha started by telling it to slow down the rate at which it was creating new money. Without growth in Brazil's output of goods and services to match, the additional money simply forced up prices. Bacha also knew it was vital to restore people's confidence in the currency. The Cruzeiro had become worthless. Nobody held on to it or wanted it because it fell in value every minute of every day as prices continued to soar. People would trade in US dollars or other stable currencies. A new currency was therefore needed that people could trust to hold its value. Bacha, therefore, advised playing a trick on people by introducing fake money called the URV, or Unit of Real Value. The URV didn't actually exist, but every product would be priced in URVs. Similarly, all wages and taxes were expressed in URVs.
Prices, wages, and all other monetary values listed in URVs were kept stable over time. The only thing that changed was the exchange rate between Cruzeiros and URVs. So, for example, eggs now priced at say 100 URVs 1 month would be the same price the next month and the month after that and so on, but 100 URVs might be worth 100 Cruzeiros 1 month and 200 the next. Bacha argued that eventually people would get used to prices in URVs being stable and stop expecting prices to rise so rapidly. In turn, they would become used to paying for goods and services in URVs and stop thinking about the Cruzeiro and how much it was worth. This was despite the URV, or what had become known as the real, not being a real currency. However, once this had happened, it did in fact become real, if that makes sense. New notes and coins were printed and the real became the new currency of Brazil in 1994. And the magic trick worked. By 1996, the monthly inflation rate had fallen to less than 1% from over 45% in 1994. Economic activity had increased strongly during the second half of 1994 and thereafter, led by a boom in domestic demand that was fueled by lower inflation and higher real wages, including for many of the country's poorest workers. Since then, Brazil has emerged as a rapidly developing economy and major exporter, and some 20 million people have been lifted out of poverty.
Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps us out, and hope to see you next time.